Hey guys, good morning. It's Austin with Austin's Car Scene, and today I'm going to be giving you my full review of the Jeep Gladiator, and this one's a Willys, so I guess you could say Gladiator Willys. And if you guys aren't familiar with the channel, make sure to check it out. This is my car YouTube channel where I do car reviews, new technology, and just full disclosure, I do sell at Terrebonne Ford, so I have a lot of experience inside the business as far as selling and seeing new products and being trained throughout these product lines. So if you're liking what you're seeing, make sure to like and subscribe. Enjoy the video, guys. So the Jeep Gladiator. This is a very interesting vehicle in the fact that it's not practical in any sense of the word. When you think about daily driving a vehicle, you think it should be smooth, plush, efficient. This vehicle has none of that going on. And when I say none of it, I mean absolutely none of it. There is not a single piece of this vehicle that I think is extraordinarily practical and groundbreaking that you should buy this vehicle. If you need a mid-sized truck, go get one. There's ones that get better gas mileage, have better fuel economy, debatably better back seats, mainly because of the doors, not because of the space. But this is not the one that you get if you're a numbers guy. This is 100% a feelings vehicle. And what I mean by that is, this is a vehicle you can take the roof and doors off of. This is a vehicle you can buy a lift kit online for $1,800, bolt it on yourself, do a ruler alignment, and go wheeling. Whoa. I want to stop myself right here and get into the reality of this review. The Jeep Gladiator is one of the coolest vehicles that we have in the modern day and age. The exterior is beautiful. It has that timeless Jeep style with the 7-slot grille and the round headlights. And the fact that this truck is offered in almost the perfect dimensions with its short cab and its long bed just make it that much more stylish and good to look at. Now, the off-road models like the Rubicon, the Willys, even the Mojave, the cool desert one, are all going to have really great-looking tires. The one thing I don't like is on the Overland trim, which is your popular street-going, and the high altitude, they give you all-season street tires, which just are hideous. But when you do some mud terrains or even some good all-terrains like some KO2s like what we see on this truck, it just looks so good on the outside. And that's what I think a lot of people are buying this truck for, is because of the overall good looks that this truck has. It's not an ugly vehicle to look at, for sure. Moving on to the practicality of this shape, though, there's not a whole lot. I mean, fuel mileage in this truck is horrendous. It stays under 20 miles to the gallon. You'll be lucky to get 15 to 16 miles to the gallon. And then if you're talking about towing, it's just, especially around town, it's not even in the cards. You don't even have to talk about that. What I do want to talk about is how good and stable the suspension feels. The rear end is the 5-link, pretty much copy and pasted from the Ram 1500, and it is an amazing suspension. There's a reason that the Ram 1500 has been known as one of the best riding trucks, and this Jeep Gladiator, even though it's a Jeep with a solid front axle, still rides great, especially with the long wheelbase. Now, talking about that solid front axle, it does make it a little bit difficult if you're somebody who's involved with safety and technology, because this truck is not going to have lane keep no matter the trim level, no matter what package, no matter how much you spend. It's still just going to be regular old steering. And when it comes to adaptive cruise control and blind spot monitoring, those two features are very difficult to find on a vehicle, especially one of these Jeep Wranglers. They just don't come standard, and like I said, the package is pretty rare. Talking about lighting, though, these headlights are dull. They are so dim at nighttime. Even with LED bulb upgrades that I've seen, they're still not super bright. And out in the back, you have just regular bulbs as well, which I don't care as much for a tail light or brake light, just because it's less required than a headlight, because a headlight needs to be bright. It needs to cast that light far. It needs to do a nice wide swoop so that you can actually see the road in front of you. Like I said, these ones from the factory just do not have it. This Jeep, interesting enough, actually has some really cool taillight covers, which, I think are pretty cool. And then I love that Jeep actually gives you a solid tow hook right there on the back bumper, just so it's ready for you at all times. There's a full-size spare underneath as well, which, like I said, I love. The hard top is definitely the way to go. I've been in a couple soft top versions of these Jeep, new and used now, and I can tell you the soft tops are not nearly as quiet as the hard top is. The highway is pretty much a nightmare in the soft top just because all the road noise comes right through. One of the things I wish they would have done with this truck would have been a hybrid variant or even a higher output variant. I'd love to see the Hurricane motor in this truck in the coming years. That Hurricane is an inline-6, makes a ton of torque, a lot of horsepower, and is still really efficient. So seeing that in this Gladiator would be a welcome addition, just because the 3.6 Pentastar, while geared okay with the 8-speed, just doesn't seem to have really overwhelming power like a lot of modern day vehicles that you get into. Even my Frontier, when I hop in that, it's not much more power, but it's enough that you notice that the Jeep's kind of lacking. And that's one of the things that's so upsetting about the Jeep Gladiator, is that it could have been a really cool breakthrough product, and I feel like Jeep kind of subdued themselves to reach a certain price point, and really borrowed almost too much from the Wrangler, because I think had they offered this in a 5.7 Hemi, or even offered it with a like overlanding specific package similar to the new Trail Hunter coming out, they would have been able to capture a lot more of the market. I like what they're doing for 2024. They've made a lot of welcome improvements. For example, the larger Uconnect 5.0 screen with the cloud-based nav is now finally in the Jeep product line, specifically in the Wrangler and Gladiator products, and it does amazing. It's super good. They used to offer the EcoDiesel in this truck, however, they've now gotten rid of it. Dieselgate 2.0, if you're familiar with that, comment down below. It is absolutely crazy that they're getting they're settling for that much money over almost 1 million trucks. So, you know, they're kind of being very, very careful and diligent when it comes to the diesels, and the Jeep Gladiator is no exception. So, looking underneath, this is a great shot of your rear axle with your coilover suspension, or your coil spring suspension. The hood is interesting because it has these latches on each side, which, if you live in a major metro market, you can actually get your battery stolen from this vehicle, so you want to make sure that you're not having this vehicle if you live somewhere where batteries get stolen a lot. You can see right there on the left. This is your 3.6 liter Pentastar. It's now offered with e-torque, which is their mild hybrid 48 volt system. It says it improves fuel economy. I don't see that big of a difference, but it does improve the overall acceleration feel of the vehicle. That 3.6 liter Pentastar is Stellantis' corporate motor. They put it in pretty much everything from Dodge to Jeep, even over in the Ram trucks. It's fairly decent power, 285 horsepower in this variant, 265 pound-feet of torque. It's paired with their 8-speed ZF automatic. Does a really decent job. It is a torque-converted automatic, and it's very smooth. It's the same one that's actually in the BMW and Ram products, which is great. Looking at the interior of this Jeep, you have manual locks. The manual locks are just crazy to me. They still give you a push-button key fob, which is pretty neat. There is manual windows on this, so this is the Willys Sport, which is going to be the most basic, which is why this one has no power locks or power windows. There's also manually adjusting mirrors. You can see right there, like, what in the world? That's what you have to do to adjust, and I can't even imagine what you'd have to do on the passenger side. On your roof, this one is the hardtop. It does not have the headliner option installed, but there is one to reduce wind noise. If you want to take them off, just real simple, you pull the 4 little latches. There's 3 of the L-shaped latches, 1 on each corner, and then the actual buckle style latch, and the whole panel just lifts right off. So the front 2 panels are super easy and light to get off. Looking at the instrument cluster, it's pretty nice. You have a tach on the left, multi-information display in the middle, which is super useful, and then a physical speedometer over on the right, as well as your fuel and temperature. The radio on this one is a smaller Uconnect 3 system. Like I said, on the new one, there's a 12-inch, and there's also an 8-inch if you're looking at a higher trim level in one of the older years. This is your climate control. There is a dual-zone climate available, but this is just the basic single-zone, simple climate. You'll notice USB-C as well as USB-A. There's a hole there. That's where your power windows would normally be if you had them, but this one doesn't have them, as well as a 12-volt. And speaking of that hole, it is a little awkward just being in the middle of the cab and having a huge hole in the dash. So I'm hoping that they start offering power windows as standard, but we'll see. There's some Jeep people that probably like having roll up and down windows. There's your 8-speed shifter. You do have a backup camera on this one with a zoom feature, so pretty handy to have that. Looking back at your steering wheel, this one has the plastic urethane style steering wheel, but there is a leather wrapped one you can get. All of them are going to have phone controls as well as screen controls and cruise control, which is really handy. There is a light up top on the top of the windshield that's going to tell you about your passenger airbag, whether it's on or off. There is not automatic headlights on this one because it's the base model, but there is fog lights and a cargo light. You'll notice our LED lights right there on the tower. It is super cool, by the way, that the sound system is mounted on that bar. If you've never been in a vehicle with that, makes the sound quality really, really good. These are the cloth basic seats. They are not power in any format. They do stain really easy. I suggest doing cat skin leather before you take delivery, just to make sure that the seats are, fully taken care of, or get a model with leather. In the back, we do have air vents and cup holders, which is extremely handy, especially if you have kids. I would actually, with the exception of how terrible the rear doors are, I would say that this has the best rear seats of probably any modern pickup truck. And the latch points are really easy to get to. It does have this window that opens up. There's also a rear defroster. On the fuel door, it's just a regular capped fuel door. But speaking of those rear seats, super, super good back seats, room for a car seat, room for kids. Just like I said, the problem is the door. The door cuts in really sharp, and then it also has the latch right in the middle of the door when it's open. So you have to look out for that. It can hit you right in your hip, right in your back, pretty much whenever you're getting in and out of the vehicle. So with the exception of those doors, they've done a great job making these back seats a place that you want to be. Well, overall, what do I think about the Jeep Gladiator and what's my initial report? I would like to tell you that this is a fun little truck. You can take the doors off, you can take the roof off. It does have a surprising amount of practical features for a fun vehicle, but overall it lacks in the safety department as well as the technology department. As far as value goes, this does not rank high for me with value. This vehicle cost a lot of money and you do not get a lot of vehicle for it. But I'll say the witty charm of this being a old school Jeep that you can put a lift kit on, wheels and tires, and go off-roading means that this vehicle scores well in the fun department and low in the technology and safety department. If you're someone who wants a really cool weekend truck that you can really get into and enjoy and look cool while doing it, this might be a great option for you. But if you're somebody who says, man, I've got 2 kids that I'm trying to raise, I just can't do it, that's where it's important for you to understand that this truck might not be the most practical option. Well, with that being said, guys, thanks for listening and watching my review. If you have any questions, make sure to leave them down in the comments. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell because we've got videos coming every single day. Thanks for watching, guys, and have a great day.